Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission fines airing companies for overestimating billing of customers. United Nations agencies advocates the need for urgent global support to address humanitarian crisis resulting from flood. Plus, Nigeria's First Lady welcome home Paralympics Games contingent in the State House. These and more on today's Panorama. My name is Justin Bemuyena. Welcome you. The federal government has again reassured Nigerians that efforts are on to end all forms of insecurity plaguing various parts of the country for socio-economic activities to continue to flourish. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, gave the assurance when he led presidential delegation to identify with the government and people of Yobe State over the recent security incident in Mafa community. Yunusa Suleiman reports.
The presidential delegation, Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, stated that the federal government is deeply concerned about the recent attack on Mafa community and is taking decisive action to prevent future occurrence. On behalf of President Tinubu, the minister expressed heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims and the people of Yobe State. During the visit, the delegation and the Yobe State government unanimously agreed that the president's gesture demonstrates his unwavering commitment to ending insecurity and promoting peace and stability across the country.
Under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's able leadership, one of his 8 priority areas, and perhaps the key one, is to provide security of lives and property for all Nigerians. That is the basis on which he is looking to revamp the economy.
And with the resolve of the government that we have today, more than ever before, I want to assure you, there is a matter of time, small time remaining. The entire country will be secured.
And on our part, as civil populace, as Yobians, I want to urge all of us to continue as we always do for our president to succeed. Because the success of the president is the success of the nation. We know to provide leadership in difficult times has its own challenges. But of course, the president, we know, is equal to the task.
In a related development, the Gombe State government has donated 50 million naira to the victims of Mafa attack to alleviate their suffering and support their recovery. In the Matru, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
And the federal government has again demonstrated its commitment to give Nigerians and communities under the siege of terrorism and those affected by natural disasters a new lease of life and to show them support in their hour of needs. Vice President Kashim Shettima brought a message of hope to internally displaced persons at the Gwada camp in Shiroro local government area of Niger State. During his visit, he made a symbolic presentation of food items and beddings to the affected individuals, providing them with essential support and relief. Husseina Musa has details.
Niger State, with 14 internally displaced persons camps spread across the state, has over 46,000 victims displaced by either flood or banditry. The visit of the Vice President Kashim Shettima to the internally displaced persons camp, Gwada, in Shiroro local government area, was to give the victims of flood and banditry a sense of belonging in the face of these adversities.
We appreciate government for this gesture, but they need to improve on security so that we can go back to our homes.
We are staying here for 6 years and government is helping us for food.
Vice President Kashim Shettima, who interacted with the victims, informed them of the federal government's determination to ameliorate the difficulties they are faced with.
This is a symbolic gesture, but we have come on an assessment tour, and I want to assure the government and people of Niger State that the president is poised to assist all states of the Federation towards addressing those challenges. 3 billion naira has been released to each state of the Federation towards addressing the issues of floodings across the length and breadth of this nation. But this is just a tip of the iceberg. We'll be very scientific in our approach.
We are grateful for this visit and are hopeful that we will get more from the federal government, being a home to 4 hydropower dams in Nigeria. And we know that at this part of the season, we have a lot of overflow from these dams, and year in, year out, people are displaced.
Other local government areas across the state that were affected by the devastating effect of flood and banditry will benefit from the federal government's benevolence aimed at bringing succor to them. In Mina, Hussein Musa, NTA.
Now, the United Nations agencies say Nigeria needs urgent global support to address the humanitarian crisis resulting from the ravaging flood in Borno State. The World Food Programme and Food and Agriculture Organization estimates that $147.9 million will be required to provide food and non-food items to the flood-affected people in Maiduguri and other food insecure people in the northeast for the next 6 months. Musa Babaliu has the details.
The breach of the Alau Dam in Maiduguri, Borno State brought about anguish, sorrow and uncertainty to the residents of the state. Floodwaters have taken over their houses, leaving them with no option but to move to safer ground. Some of them, mostly the elderly, women and children, were evacuated. Aisha Aliyu, a victim, says she found herself in a difficult situation.
It's very terrible, very terrible. I never pray for even my enemy to experience such a thing. For you to leave your home without any single thing, just with your own personal clothes, is not something to pray for anymore in your life.
More than 400,000 people who were displaced are being sheltered in night camps in Maiduguri. An air survey carried out by the United Nations World Food Programme showed that food, shelter and clean water are the immediate needs of the people.
You know, the flood has affected them. They can't have access to their banks even. So what we decided to do is to give 10,000 naira to each of the heads of household, both male and female heads household. This is what we are doing. Then subsequently we'll distribute food and non-food items to all of them. So far so good. We have mobilized cooks and they have started cooking food in this camp.
WFP established kitchen in 3 camps, providing meals to the displaced persons. The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations said floods in the northeastern states of Adamawa, Borno and Yobe states have compounded the food security challenges in the northeast. United Nations organizations therefore appeal for more funding to support the ongoing humanitarian response, early recovery, including food and non-food items. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Now, FCT Minister of State Dr. Maria Mahmood has assured FCT residents that the Federal Capital Territory Administration is totally committed to meeting their health needs. Aisha Ubali reports that the minister gave the assurance at the flag-off of a medical outreach under the Renewed Hope Medical Mission, targeting more than 3,000 beneficiaries.
A health issue that occurs that we don't know before. So during pregnancy, they educate us to keep going for checkup.
It has not precedented. It has never happened, and we are seeing it for the first time. So it's a welcome development.
Good to know that the federal government actually have the masses at heart, and something regarding health is something that people take very paramount.
These are some of Buhari's residents expressing excitement about the outreach the FCTA Health Secretariat is coordinating. It is said that when women take charge, there is always an impact, let alone women medical doctors. The duo are medical doctors heading strategic positions in the FCTA. The Minister of State, FCT, Dr. Maria Mahmood, and Mandate Secretary for Health, Dr. Adedolapo Fashawi, engaged in patient consultation at the free medical outreach.
If you look at our hospitals, a lot of them are predated. They are old buildings. We're starting to look at best practices, building new hospitals, hospitals that people will come from out of state to access quality care.
I'm happy to see the attendance. People are out for this outreach, and this is what we want for the people that need us to feel us, to know that we are for them. Whatever we have is just for us to bring it down to the grassroots. I've seen those that benefited from glasses. I've seen those that have been doing scaling and polishing under the dental care. Then distribution of gas cookers to our mothers, I've said, to ease their suffering from cooking, also to prevent the effects of climate change.
While the renewed Hope Medical Mission is ongoing, the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wiki, will be focusing on the establishment of more health care centers and rehabilitation of existing ones soon. From Buari Area Council, Aisha Oba Ali, NTA News.
Now, to reduce preventable deaths and injuries, the Red Cross is emphasizing first aid knowledge and skills before proper medical attention. In this report, Elizabeth Omori takes a look at the first aid kit as a life-saving tool as the world commemorates 2024 First Aid Day.
First aid, medical experts insist, is crucial in emergency situations, providing immediate care and treatment to prevent further harm or promote recovery.
It's very necessary that we have a first aid kit at home so that you take care of the basic emergencies that can happen in the house. Things like little cuts, bruises, you apply the basic ones you should know before you get medical attention from the hospital.
I don't see a need in it in my house, but I have it in my organization.
I know I'm supposed to have one, but it just didn't occur to me that I should have one.
This year, the first aid advocacy train headed to Jabi Lake, Abuja, to sensitize Nigerians on how to stabilize injuries and prevent further damage to an individual's health.
Accidents, don't give us notice before it occurs. It could happen at any time. You could be driving, you have an accident. You can be driving and someone will have an accident, and your own first aid kit can come in handy for that person. So we always need to have a first aid kit ready.
People are collapsing, and before they take that casualty to the hospital, they will receive a bad news. So we want to avoid this. We want to ensure that one or two things is done, and that little thing can save life.
The life-saving box, the Red Cross says, is a must-have at homes, offices, and public places, backed by CPR when necessary. This year's theme focuses on the nexus of first aid and sports to lower medical expenses and reduce long-term disability. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has received Paralympics Games contingent in the State House. The athletes were in high spirit as they were presented rewards by the First Lady for consistently showing the world the true spirit of Nigeria, demonstrating courage and resilience where the honor of the country is at stake. Nigerian athletes deserve the very best in terms of incentives. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu stated this when she received the country's contingent to the 2024 Paralympic Games in Paris at the State House. The First Lady, who is also the Grand Patron of African Paralympics Committee, expressed the appreciation of the country to the para-athletes for restoring the pride of Nigeria by winning 7 medals and setting new records at the Games. The First Lady says the athletes have raised the bar for para-athletes worldwide. Now, the Secretary General Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, Haytham Al-Ghais, has applauded Nigeria's continuous support to OPEC's mission of sustaining a stable and balanced global oil market. This is as the organization commemorates 64 years of excellence. Lydia Samson reports.
OPEC
OPEC Day, celebrated on September 14th, commemorates the founding of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries in 1960. This year marks the 64th anniversary of OPEC, which was established during a historic conference in Baghdad.
This special occasion today is a time to honor the efforts of all those who have worked so hard throughout our history to make OPEC a resounding success, including many Nigerians. We must recognize the immense contributions of Nigeria and all our member countries. That includes heads of states and government, ministers, governors and national representatives.
He says, though OPEC has evolved significantly over the decades in adapting to various global economic challenges and changes in the energy landscape, OPEC remains committed to its founding principles as a global advocate for multilateral cooperation.
This day, the 14th of September, which has been designated as OPEC Day, provides a perfect opportunity to reflect on and remember OPEC's remarkable journey from its founding to its present. While acknowledging past glories is important, it is also crucial to look ahead and anticipate what is to come.
The anniversary also serves as a reminder of OPEC's ongoing commitment to cooperation and dialogue in addressing global energy issues and sustainable development. OPEC Secretary General Haitham Al-Hayes, who commended OPEC members, is optimistic about the global role of the organization going forward, describing it as having its greatest days ahead. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Now, the World Bank is assessing the impact of its intervention projects under the Nigeria Electrification Project, which seeks to provide electricity to unserved and underserved communities. Joshua Jito reports that World Bank Vice President inspected one of the projects and interacted with beneficiaries at the bank pledges, as the bank pledges more funding to close the energy gap in the country.
Peti in Kwali Area Council of the FCT is one of the benefiting communities of the Nigeria Electrification Project, NEP, which has so far provided electricity to more than 7 million Nigerians through solar hybrid mini-grids, solar home systems, and captive power plants.
Since solar came here, our business and everything is moving on.
World Bank is one of the funding partners of the project, and its vice president on infrastructure is in Nigeria to assess how the project is stimulating rural economy and energizing education as well as health.
From a village they have no electricity to a village they have electricity, and I think it's transforming people's life. And I can see how people use electricity for, of course, for lightening, but also for access to information.
He has seen by himself how this power plant has crystallized the powering of the entire community with over 200 connections.
And that's why in the new DARE program, we have a very, very, very steep ambition to ensure that more people have this energy.
World Bank commits to provide electricity to more than 300 million people in sub-Saharan Africa by 2030. And the success story of the Nigeria Electrification Project is expected to scale up interventions. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC, has fined 11 distribution companies 9.11 billion naira for over billion of their customers underestimated billing. Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, AEDC, has the highest fine of 1.7 billion naira, while Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company has the least fine of 15 million naira. The fines follow a comprehensive investigation into the distribution company's billing practices. This penalty, NEC notes, is a response to the distribution company's non-compliance with previous directives aimed at capping estimated billing for electricity consumers. With the measures, the distribution companies, NEC emphasizes, are required to enhance their service delivery and adhere to service-based tariffs. Also, NEC says the companies must publish explanations on their website within 24 hours if they fail to provide a committed level of service on Band A feeders for 2 consecutive days. We now take a short break. Panorama continues in a moment. To stay with us. Now, the Civil Defense Correctional Fire and Immigration Services Board, CDCFIB, has approved the promotion of 20,867 senior officers from the various paramilitary agencies in the Ministry of Interior. Secretary of the board, Jafaru Ahmed, disclosed this following a two-day meeting of the board, the fifth this year, presided over by the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, in Abuja. The promotions, according to Ahmed, cut across multiple ranks, including inspector, assistant superintendent, controllers, and commandants in the Nigeria Correctional Service, Nigeria Immigration Service, Federal Fire Service, and the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps.
5,329 officers were promoted to board. The Nigeria Immigration Service, 112 officers were promoted across board. Federal Fire Service, 489 officers were promoted across board. In the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense, 9,937 officers were also promoted, bringing total to 20,867.
Other approvals, he says, include a new scheme of service for the Federal Fire Service and a training curriculum for its training institutions.
The board considered and approved the monitoring, evaluation, and collaboration in the career development courses organized by the four services.
And now, let's now join our correspondent live. Correspondent Austin Demodo at the Stephen Keshi Stadium, Asaba. Can you hear me? If you can hear me...
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
of course, thank you very much.
Demodo,
right here at this...
Please, if you can hear me, please give us an update on the 8th ongoing National Youth Games. What's happening there, please?
Thank you very much. Right here, you can hear from the background, we are witnessing the big one, the athletics event, where we have the 4x400 meters mixed relay going on right now as we talk. And of course, just a few minutes ago, the 100 meters male and female were concluded here. And unfortunately, the defending champions in the male category, in the person of Jerome Clifford, could not compete because he has hit the age of 16 this year. And of course, the same with Lucy Okonkwo from Anambra State, who also is the fastest woman in the junior category in Nigeria. Unfortunately, she will not be competing as well in these games because of the age limit. And that is why the federal government is looking at reverting to the original age of 17 years to ensure that these athletes transit maybe at the age of 17, 18, they should be competing at the highest level, at the senior level of the National Sports Festival or even the Olympics. As I'm talking to you right now, we have other events that are going on. The shot put male finals is ongoing right now behind me. In a few minutes, we are going to witness a gold medalist that will be emerging from the shot put men's final that is going on right here at the Stephen Keshi Stadium. It has been a whole lot of activities going on. Remember that the medals have started rolling in as at yesterday evening. We have...
okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you so much, Austin Demodo. We really appreciate your update from the Stephen Keshi Stadium, Asaba. Thank you so much for your update. And now moving on, as part of the renewed commitment to ending acts of terrorism ravaging the northwestern part of the country, the Defense Headquarters has introduced a new military operation in the sub-region. The Chief of the Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, unveiled the operation while on a courtesy visit to Zamfara State. Governor Dauda Lawal at the Government House, Gusau. Jamilu Ibrahim tells us more.
The ongoing military operations aimed at stemming the tides of the criminal elements terrorizing people of Zamfara State are obviously making positive impacts. This is evident in the recent killing of some notorious kingpins. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, who was on a working visit to Zamfara State, interacted with Governor Dauda Lawal at the Government House Gusau on the new measures being put in place for better performance. General Musa, who said President Bola Tinubu has approved the deployment of more personnel and warfare equipment to the northwest, also unveiled a new military operation in the sub-region codenamed Operation Fansanyama.
What we are going to do now is we are turning the operation into a theater, just like how we have in the northeast. The theater means we have a central commander who is the Joint Task Force commander. Then we have the component commanders who will be the GOCs 1 div and the GOC 8 div. And then so that all our operations are going to be together. Then we'll have component commanders.
Governor Dauda Lawal applauded the military and other security agencies in the state for their gallantry in the fight against the marauding terrorists.
My government is fully committed to cooperate with the military and other security agencies in the state. And with the comments you made, I'm very, very optimistic. It's a matter of time. Peace will return to that same Zamfara that you knew about. Special prayers were also offered for the repose of the souls of some security operatives recently ambushed by the terrorists along Gusau-Funtua Road. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
And this is where Panorama ends. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Justin Benwi.